Good morning, welcome to the Kroll Kartonu channel. Welcome to another episode. In the previous episode, we talked about cardboard and that there are two main types of packaging, namely flap and die cut. In today's episode, we will focus on machines for producing die cut packaging. In the next episode, we will be dealing with machines for producing flat packaging. So that you don't miss any upcoming episodes, I invite you to press this button, subscribe, definitely with the bell. Then you will receive a notification. The new video has been released, so let's start today's episode. As I mentioned, today we will be talking about machines for producing die cut packaging. If you don't know what die cut packaging is, I encourage you to watch the previous video. Quickly, I will say that these are die cut type packaging, made according to the individual needs of the customer, most often used as unit packaging. Distinguishes them here the ability to adapt to an unusual product shape and an aesthetic appearance. And now we have different types of machines for producing these die-cut packaging, so-called die-cut. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, a tool is needed. I mean, a tool is not needed in every case. But if we want to engage in serial production, let's say on a larger scale, we will need a tool. The basic machine for producing such packaging can be a plotter. A plotter, which is a specifically programmed device head that cuts the shape of a given packaging. I wanted to point out right away that the packaging we produce does not come pre-assembled in the form we see on the shelf or how we see a product packaged. Instead, it is delivered in a flat form for so-called self-assembly, which then we or the customer have to assemble. And such a plotter will cut out that shape for us. This is a great thing because we don't need any die. We design the shape of the packaging on a computer in some program, and it will cut it out for us. This is a great thing if we want to send someone a sample of our packaging, or make 2 to 3 types or 2 to 3 pieces of such packaging. Because it doesn't have to be done in large quantities, we can't produce such packaging with that plotter. We won't make a lot of those packages. If we want to engage in serial production, larger production per hour, the next machine, let's say the next step, is the so-called roller machine. Here, we need a flat die for that. What is a die and what types of dies are there exactly, and what are they made of? We will also cover such dies in future episodes. For now, we are only talking about machines. So we have a flat die. We place it on one side, the operator places it on one side of the table, puts a sheet of cardboard on the die cutter and pushes it, depending on the type of this machine. But let's say we have the simplest machine that can be. He pushes the die cutter under the roller, which presses the sheet of cardboard against the die cutter. And on the other side, as the die cutter comes out, we get the cut packaging. And the second operator removes the sheet with the waste, sets it aside, throws away the waste, places a new sheet of cardboard and passes it back to the second operator, where the operator does the same. And so on and so on. These are nice, simple machines that will produce such packaging for us. Depending on the size of the die cutter and the number of workers we have, we can produce about 200 of such packages per hour. The next machine, let's say a little faster than this one, is called a crucible. Crucible is already a heavy machine construction, where we really only need one operator, and depending on the type of crucible, because we have automatic or manual ones, but let's say that today we are only dealing with basic machines, meaning we have a manual crucible where the paper is fed manually. That is, the operator places a sheet of cardboard on the die cutter. This sheet of cardboard is pressed against another flat surface, simply pressed down, and the operator pulls out the die-cut package, including the waste, places a new sheet, and so on and so forth. Here it goes a bit faster. Here we can even do this in a manual version. About 500 pieces, 400, 500 pieces. It also depends on the size of the packaging, or rather not on the size of the packaging, but on the manual skills of the operator. Another machine, let's say one that produces large quantities of cardboard packaging, as it is possible to make from 1,000 to 3,000 pieces, also depending on the version, we have manual and automatic, is the so-called rotary machine, a rotary die cutter, which requires a rotary die. The rotary die is mounted on a roller. Above this roller is a second roller, most often made of polyamide. I mean, it is not a roller made of polyamide, but covered with polyamide, and the cardboard passing between the shafts is pressed on one side against the polyamide shaft and on the other side against the shaft with the die, and it simply produces finished package that falls onto the pallet by itself. Here we have the so-called basic machines for producing die-cut packaging. Of course, there are also other machines for producing these die-cut packages. We focus today on these basic machines, quickly to discuss how such packaging is produced. As I mentioned, in the next episode, there will be machines for producing flap packaging, such as for courier shipments, for packaging, for moving. So I invite you, as I mentioned at the beginning of the film, to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions regarding the machines I mentioned today, feel free to write your questions in the comments. I will gladly answer in the next episode. Thank you very much for your attention. Till the next episode.